When I was struggling with a broken back as a ballet dancer, and I had some providers telling me I'd never walk again, let alone dance again, it was a physical therapist and a personal trainer who both said, okay, here's where you're at now. What can we do to help you move through this to get to where you want to be?
Well, Carol Ann, welcome. Thank you for doing this. I
Hello.
appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you became a physical therapist, or why you became a physical therapist.
Good questions. Hello, my name is Carol Ann Hicks. I'm a physical therapist. In my early 30s, I was working in California state government permitting, which is as exciting a job as it sounds, by day. And then by night, I was a professional ballet dancer. And as a professional ballet dancer, I had a few accidents, a few injuries. I broke my back, I broke my hip, cracked a few other things. And the only people that helped me on my journey to recovery were other physical therapists. So I thought, well, that sounds interesting. Let's go back to school for that. So I went back to school at 34 years old. It's never too late. I was the oldest person in my class and studied for 7 years and became a PT.
How has your strength training impacted your life professionally?
It is amazing how my strength training has helped my professional life and personal life, but my professional life just by leaps and bounds. So in corporate PT, I had to see a minimum of 15 people a day. So that's a minimum of 75 people a week doing hands-on body work, stretching people and mobilizing tissue and helping people. And massaging for 40 hours straight every week takes toll on your body physically. So once I turned to strength training, it took about 3 to 5 months for my muscle mass to increase. And I noticed suddenly the workday was easier. I wasn't dislocating my thumbs or straining my shoulders, stretching clients and continuing to work every day. And after being a member here at CrossFit for about 2 years now, I can go through a 40 to 60 person week and not get tired. And that's because of strength training. So, and in my personal life, I have energy at the end of the day. I can finish a very physical and very difficult workday, and I can come home and still be a human being and not just lay dead on the couch or on the floor.
What advice would you give to somebody who's nervous about starting a fitness journey because they're worried about getting hurt?
The hardest step is walking through the front door. The very first step is the hardest one. Leaving the house, getting in the car, driving to the gym, and walking through the front door. And it's just showing up, and it's giving it a try. And if there's a trainer there, they're going to help make sure you do it in a safe way. Showing up, taking the class, seeing that there's other people in the community. Look, there's somebody over there lifting 5-pound dumbbells. There's somebody over there lifting 50-pound dumbbells. Maybe you're 8 pounds, maybe you're 10 pounds, somewhere in the middle. That's okay. It doesn't matter. You start where you're at. But finding a safe community where you feel comfortable, where the trainers know what they're doing, and that makes it so much easier.
How do you help people continue exercising when they're dealing with aches, pains, or injuries?
Excellent question. So fresh off of an injury, fresh off of a rotator cuff tear, fresh off of a knee surgery, fresh off of an ankle sprain, recognizing that you can brace the injured tissue and that the rest of your body is still functioning and still able to move. And that's something where the trainers here are really excellent at modifying movement. And that's what I do in my physical therapy practice every day, is modifying movement. Can you find ways to move the rest of your body without upsetting the injury so that the rest of you still get circulation and strength and you don't lose the gains that you've made recovering from an injury?
If someone watching this is struggling with pain or feels limited by an injury, what would you want them to know?
If you're struggling with pain, limited by an injury, or you have a fear of movement because what if I make my injury worse? What if I do something else? The first step would be to find somebody you trust to help you move through it. So whomever you have accessible to you to talk to who can help you move, talk to them. The hardest part, it's the same thing as joining a gym. The hardest part is taking the first step. When I was struggling with a broken back as a ballet dancer, and I had some providers telling me I'd never walk again, let alone dance again, it was a physical therapist and a personal trainer who both said, okay, here's where you're at now. What can we do to help you move through this to get to where you want to be? And that's my entire reason for being, is if somebody comes to me in pain or with something wrong, how can I move them through it and past it to take the next step?
What accomplishments are you most proud of since joining this gym?
So 2 years, 2.5 years that I've been a member, coming up on 2.5 years. 2 weeks ago, I back squatted 60 pounds for the first time, thanks to Liam and Neil. When I started,
Fantastic.
I struggled with 10 pounds, but just that I stuck with it, and that goals can be achieved, even if it takes a little longer.
What's a piece of advice you'd give to your younger self?
Younger self.
Couldn't that be perfect? What are you thinking?
Well, I think that's that word right there, perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. Perfect is the enemy of good.
Beautiful.
Just try. You're not going to get it perfect the first time. You're not going to get it perfect the second time.
How can people find you?
So my new company is Protea Physical Therapy, and I am located in downtown Bethel, in the heart of downtown Bethel, right in the parking lot of Solber Kitchen. If anybody knows Solber,
Shout out.
I eat at Solber for lunch every single day. Shout out to Sarah. But I'm at 14 Depot Place, Bethel, and my phone number's on my website. Call, text, email. I'm easy to get to.
Caroline, thank you so much for being here and doing this. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
So one thing, when I went to see you, I must say, we were doing things that I did not expect to be doing. So what would you have to say for that? Because I think you're more than just like what the typical person thinks of as a physical therapist, taking you through simple exercises. If that makes sense, can you expand on that?
Yes, absolutely. So I do something a little bit different. There are a lot of therapists out there getting into the world of fascia and fascia therapy. Some of you may have heard of Rolfing from the 70s. Some of you may have heard of anatomy trains, Tom Myers or structural integration. Some of you may have heard of Tom Brady, pliability, also known as the Patrick Mahomes method, also known as reflexive performance reset. So what I do is a fascia technique called neurolymphatic fascial activation. And that's a lot of big words.
Yeah, we
but
need the SPARC notes for someone like me.
Basically, you have the power to reshape the connective tissue in your body so that the nerves and blood vessels and lymphatic fluid can talk to the muscles and joints better, so that your system is more active and more able to move and operate. So it's a little bit deep tissue, it's a little bit intense, and it's a little bit different, but it gets some pretty incredible results.